Chad King.
Well, Dak, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellent.
Starts now.
What's up, America? It's your boy, Thugzilla. And damn it if they ain't got me yet. We dropped some bombs Monday, didn't we, kids? I've been talking to all of you on Getter, Truth, Clout Hub, all the way over on Gab. It has been crazy because we do what we do here at I'm Fired Up, and we will expose that they continue to stomp on every one of you. This is what it is. This is what this show's about on After Dark. And Monday, we dropped some huge bombs. You know, the thing is when you start dropping and you get into the fight, it's amazing how many other people out there want to get into that fight. And so tonight, what we're going to do, and it is going to be through here and what we are doing in South Carolina, because I've explained to all of you that I believe that we're about 8 to 10 months ahead of the rest of the nation because we have been fighting this GOP establishment shills for so long. It is nauseating. So that being said, tonight we have, and I talked about him on Monday when we had Shannon Grady and Oconee County, Mr. Mickey, and the real chairman of the Horry County Republican Party, Roger Slagle. He was with us, and we exposed them. We exposed the governor, the lieutenant governor, actually the governor, because it seems like we have a little pay to play going on here in South Carolina. And Shannon Grady had the heart and was brave enough to come out there and let everybody know. And today I did Teddy Daniels on Stu Peters Network. I did Teddy Daniels' show In the Trenches, his 100th episode. And if y'all can go to Teddy on Getter, I see you. I'm coming over there in a minute. Go over to Teddy and congratulate him on his 100th show. And he brought me on there to alpha mail it up and drop this bomb. And then after that, Noel Frisch from National File came on and dropped a few more bombs. This is what it's about. We have to expose the underbelly of this disgusting monster that's going around and bullying the America First MAGA generation, because it's time. It's time for us to take our rightful place, and we're going to get into that. So we have shown you so much of the corruption. We have talked about it. We have opened eyes. I'm getting emails from across the country, and I love it. If you want to, go ahead, write this down. It's I'm Fired Up Host at Gmail. I'm Fired Up Host at Gmail, and we're going to explain it tonight. I brought quite possibly the #1 expert here in South Carolina. Years ago, he founded mySCGOP, which I have talked about on here, and the training they do on Zoom calls and the like. He is hated almost, I don't know, we'll have to ask him, but I think he's hated just about as much as I am. These sons of bitches up there in their matches and their blue jackets and khaki pants are so pissed off at me and Jeff Davis. I thought, well, why not just keep their head spinning and bring in one of the most hated patriots here in South Carolina, founder of the mySCGOP and proud chairman of the second most powerful county in South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Davis. Welcome to the show, Jeff. I bet you've never had an intro like that before.
I haven't, but there was one correction, because Greenville is the biggest county in this state. So we got 90 delegates.
No, Horry County is the largest landmass east of the Mississippi.
You may have more land, but we got more people, my friend.
We got more tax dollars.
That definitely is true. And you may have more corruption. So I get it.
That's right. We are absolutely talking politics here. So, Jeff, I'm going to have to put you in your place, because almost a third of the state budget comes from our vacationers that are watching right now across the country. And Mr. Jeff, I've got to do something real quick, because the Getter family, the Thug Army Patriots over on the Getter gang here, I've got to get I got to do some shout outs here. So let me look through this. Guess who's #1 I just found on here? Elizabeth. So I got to watch my mouth, because she'll come out of the garage and punch me in the face. Amanda, whoop whoop, what's up? Beer and back roads. I love seeing the Thugzillas up there. Those are the best emojis in the world. Next to Juice Box. Throw a Juice Box up there for my boys over on Juice Box. AJ, he's an Horry County boy. We got Amanda, she has one of the best tags, and I don't know if you can see it, Jeff, but it's shove your vax up your mask 34. I'm telling you guys, you need to get mySCGOP over to get her immediately. And we'll probably have Sinister and Shell and the rest of them. Hashtag Thug Army. I love it. All right. Every one of you on Getter, go hit that little thumbs up there on the right and share that, because we're going to spend some education and we're going to put it out here, because I brought quite possibly. So, okay, let's have it out, Jeff. Is Olga over there filming you right now?
Olga's on the other side of the podcast room. She's here.
Yeah, I love Olga. I'm telling you, Olga, I don't like the black boots thing. We have to bring the shrimp white boots back. I like those things. Anyway, Jeff Davis, you are the founder of mySCGOP, and you are the current, much to the chagrin of this knucklehead, you are the chairman of the Greenville County GOP. That happened in a very weird and let's say corrupt way, not by you, but by them, and you caught them. But we have to just get this out here, because Getter is saying Chad is probably more hated. So actually, that's Clout Hub. So what do you think? Do you think you're more hated or I am? I mean, they did write a rule in convention for you.
You may be currently more hated because you're more out there. We're more into the ReOrg and the educational piece, and we're more into some of the legislation stuff that we try to promote down in the State House. So, but they definitely do not like seeing me walk in a room, whether it's the floor of the House or floor of the Senate, over those guys on the lobby, or in their Christmas parties up here in Greenville. So they do not. We have literally, it's that bad, Chad, that there was a statewide candidate that I was having a little meeting with the Palmetto House Republican women in our neighboring county, Spartanburg. I got a certified letter, which was definitely written by a lawyer, saying that if I or anyone that I had invited or associated with the Greenville County Republican Party showed up, we would be arrested. So that's pretty bad. But, you know, the beauty of all of this is that actually motivates more patriots to come out, because anybody that's trying to push us out and keep us away is actually demonstrating that there's a bigger problem out there. They're trying to hide something. And none of our people, I mean, we're being blocked out of things. And it's not because we're rowdy or whatnot, any of that type of issues. I have a saying that we tell everyone: we will be professional, but we will be persistent. Always professional and always persistent. So it's they're trying to hide things.
So you're telling me that somebody had a lawyer write it up saying that you weren't allowed to come to something, right?
And I don't know if I actually had any intent of going to that event. I just know if I kind of threw it out there.
Damn sure you didn't go, right?
And you ought to see it, and maybe you did see the email that I sent to Hope Walker, the executive director of the SCGOP, about how I was not banned from the SCGOP events, and I was coming to the governor's mansion last night for the Christmas party. But we ended up hanging out with some patriots there in Columbia and had a good time.
So I got somebody here on Getter right now, and his name is Beer and Backroads. We know him as Rowdy. And with all of that and them coming at you, and I know Amanda, shove your vax up your mask. She's gangster. They would appreciate this. So from everybody at Getter, we appreciate you, Jeff. You are a patriot.
It's been a long fight, Chad, and I don't know if you know. Yeah, well, I mean. But let me just introduce why we even got involved in this. I'm a tax attorney, CPA. We got involved because we support children, K through 12 children with special needs and school choice program here in the state of South Carolina. And I was the founder when I worked or still lived over in Atlanta of the state's second largest tax credit scholarship program under their $120 million program. And we got involved in it, and I had nothing. I had no knowledge whatsoever about all this political stuff. I didn't want to be involved in anything political, but I knew how to set up nonprofits and find tax credits to help support children with special needs. And lo and behold, they will tell you all day long that it's the Democrats and the the teachers unions that are opposed to school choice. And I'll be honest with you, they're not happy with it and they don't necessarily like it. But it was the Republicans that ended up battling. It was the Republicans that ended up targeting us. Just from the old days when the Tea Party groups were targeted with an audit, we were targeted personally as well. So one day I wake up and I go to my mailbox and I'm living the good life down at Isle of Palms in Charleston. I open my mailbox and I got an audit notice for myself, my wife. We're married, but we file taxes separate in our nonprofit. And I've been waiting as a tax attorney, I've been waiting my entire life to be audited. So I thought this was going to be exciting, but it was some of the most corrupt stuff you've ever seen. But we were literally targeted. At that time, it was Governor Nikki Haley, and it's just amazing that it all came from the top, all from the top.
Well, it's and I want to make sure that we get this out here. You can, and I always say this on my show that our politics, so many people come from so many different walks of life and get involved in politics, and it's usually because politics came to their front door. I need to put this out there because you and Miss Olga are super passionate about school choice, and especially for special needs. But I need to put this out there. You don't have a child, right?
No, we don't. So
again, somebody out there that is doing the right thing for the kids, it's not like that you have a special needs child and you got involved and said, no, I'm not having this. You just feel that strongly about this particular situation.
I just happened to fall into it because I was a tax attorney. I knew how to set up the nonprofit and find tax credits and give scholarships out to kids. I ended up, we had probably 2,000 kids. So I do feel like I had, some responsibility to those children. But when the government took over the program, when we were accused of all kinds of nefarious things, I was just like, you know what? My ignorance is bliss, and it was nice to be ignorant in the old days. I used to like watching NFL football and baseball and that stuff. But I can't participate in it anymore when you actually know the corruption that's going on in politics. And what I tell people all the time, if they are willing to do what they have done to torture, hurt K through 12 children, their families, the specialty private schools that cater to these children, or and I know the principals, I know the people that help fund these things, and it's like, I just can't believe politicians would put their personal elections or the money special interests above these children, and they need to be exposed. And I think you're about exposing corruption. I'm about exposing corruption, and we're just going to keep fighting back. And once your eyes are open, you can't look away.
No, and that's you actually got Miss Amanda here. You being a voice for the voiceless. Thank you, Jeff. So, and he is, and Miss Olga and Jeff. I wasn't invited to the governor's Christmas party either, but you are actually told you're not allowed anywhere near the place. So I'm going to say maybe you're more hated than I am. I don't know. Maybe this week. Maybe. I don't know. Well, I'm not quite done. Tomorrow I have a whole new slate of bombs to drop on Brighteon. So I want to, and I have to, because last night or Monday on our special, when we had everybody on here, I brought up how, because we've talked extensively how Elizabeth, my wife, with some friends and some patriots clandestinely took over the HCGOP, the most powerful GOP in South Carolina, based on tax base. See, now I got to throw that out there so Jeff doesn't get mad.
We always, but Greenville has more delegates, so we got more votes for the next chairman. So
you do, and the thing is, we are on the. It started with Horry and Greenville, and how many counties now would you say are on board with the MAGA America First agenda that we are pushing?
If you currently in the elected seats, 5 or 6, how many counties are on board?
Yeah, I think you're getting throttled. You're more hated than I am. Anyway, I'm going to wait for him to, he's probably going to jump out and come back in, but I don't know if he can hear me. This is what happens around here. And Jeff they actually built a new rule in the convention, and he's back. They built in this BS convention they had to make it, because he is an attorney, and he would, the best way to do it is take him to court. And here he is. Jeff is back. You would take him to court, and they actually threw in a new rule that you're not allowed to sue anybody in the GOP as far as officers and likewise, which the convention was bunk in the first place. And that's why Roger Slagle, our chairman, and Tracy Beans, when she was the executive committee woman, was condemned with the rest of y'all, right?
Correct.
What does condemn mean? I'm not familiar with that.
It's a new term, and technically, I was not condemned in that particular thing. It was four individuals. You know, the two Roger and Tracy from Horry County, our state EC from here in Greenville, a gentleman by the name of Mike Bowden, and then the state EC out of Anderson County, our next door neighbor Dan Harvell. They were condemned. I wasn't even at the meeting because I had already been barred from the meeting. So I'm literally the first person that I'm aware of, certainly the first chairman in the state of South Carolina ever barred from attending the meetings. Right. But yeah, they condemned them. Who knows what condemned means? It just means they can't go to the Christmas party, which is about all I think the Uni Party Rhino establishment elite care about is the Christmas party.
I ain't going there because the happy hour Republicans piss me off. So I'm gonna bring this up. I don't know what my wife said, but they're saying Redbone is the bomb. So she's getting Getter all fired up over here. I'm not sure what she's saying. So I'm gonna leave that alone. We're gonna focus on this. So there was the reorganization when Ori took over, and then you and our dear friend, my chaps, Presley Stutz, who died because he was murdered with remdesivir in the COVID BS. So you and Presley fought the good fight. You had the elections, and 3 other people were named as the chair, vice chair, and the executive committee person. So how did it go down where there was an investigation? And I'll let you say what was found in that investigation.
Well, what happened is we rolled out January 29th of 2021. And ReOrg is in March. So we rolled it out on January 29th of 2021, mySCGOP.com. And with that, really all we do is we educate people about how to get involved in the precinct reorganization process. I'm 55 years old. I've been a lifelong Republican, college Republican. I've never even heard of precinct reorg until 5 years ago. So I don't know why this was a hidden thing from.
He's getting throttled. Hopefully they're going to get that figured out. And I'll continue his story until he comes flying back in. They got the other group was, of course, the establishment. And there was a demand, and he's back. There you go. There was a demand. No, you're fine. Trust me. I think I got mine. We got all kinds of crazy things to make sure we stay on because you get throttled sometimes.
Well, and so they may be blocking us here when they find out we're broadcasting.
Yeah, they're probably hitting you when they know your IP address. It happened to me for quite a while. So they know that you guys, the establishment won, and did you guys find anything that you could prove to force the investigation?
Well, what happened is there was missing money, and I'm a financial numbers guy. So when the prior administration was doing their last treasurer's report, I'd already done the math, and I knew how much money they should have raised from precinct reorg, being the number of delegates that came out to the county convention, which in our case was 1,899. I think you guys had 800 or something like that. So we were much bigger, just so you know.
Yeah, we write bigger checks. Shush.
Yes, you may. But there was about $7,200 missing of top line revenue. And so we were having a big meeting, and Presley was over there at the microphone asking the ladies to resign and all that kind of stuff, because there was obviously some nefarious things that went on. And I'm just sitting over there saying, where's the money? Where's the money? So what happened was when you start dealing with things where there's missing money, and I know y'all got some missing money down there in Horry County as well.
Yep.
That we got an investigation. Now the investigation was set up by the people that had actually gotten placed into office, in this case fraudulently, and that's that was the conclusion of the investigative report. So they set up the investigative committee. There was not a single person from our side that was on that committee. So Just so you know, it ended up being, after they did the investigation and they kept delaying the results, and it finally came out in, I think it was July 6th when they release the report to the executive committee for Greenville County here. It turned out that there was $7,200 missing money, that approximately at least 24% of the vote had been cheated.
Wow.
And what had happened is there's 2 pieces to precinct reorg. There's a reorg date, and then there's a makeup date. Those are the only 2 times that you are able to become a delegate to the county convention. But what had happened is on that first reorg date, it was on a Monday. It was actually deemed by the establishment as Massacre Monday because we turned out so many people. And this is it, folks. You just got to show up. Decisions are made by people that show up, and we showed up the most amount of people, and it was a huge number. So what happened is between the reorg date and the makeup date, which was in April of that year, and that makeup date, we had probably 600 people show up at an event at the Hilton. And so we had 600 people. We had a massive number of people show up at the makeup event. But when the makeup event, when people got in there to claim additional spots that had been missing, those spots were now gone. They'd already been claimed. Well, what happened is the Rhino establishment, or the establishment elite in the old Greenville County Republican Party, they had actually gone and harvested ballots, which in this case is illegal. There's a small, minute exception for people that, if your congressman is out of town and your congressman, is up in DC and can't, but they had done it on a mass scale. So what I always encourage people to do, and we always, our state EC has the saying, we have to outvote the fraud. We turned out so many people that if it had only been 2 or 3%, or if there had been no missing money, which is funny about it, that's the irony of the whole thing. These people were too cheap to even do it, even cheat the system. They just started signing people up and saying, you don't even have to pay the $20 convention fee. Just please, if you'll let us put your name down on a sheet of paper, we'll sign you up as a delegate. But
didn't they pay for, like, by not having them pay, they paid for them to vote or something like that?
Well, the rumor was, or their statement was, there was an anonymous donor that was going to pay for their fees. Obviously there's some super smart, wealthy person, and you're only talking $7,200, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But that there was obviously somebody who really knew how bad myself, Presley Stutz, and Walt Horn were, that we were desperately needed to be kept out of the leadership of the Greenville County Republican Party. So, but I will tell you, Chad, and this was the most exciting moment of that entire process, which was on the convention day. People started forwarding me voicemails that they were receiving on the phone lines. And we were literally former Senator Jim DeMint was doing robocalls against us in a county convention election. And I'm like, You're famous if you got a former U.S. senator, a former head of the Heritage Association doing robocalls against you. So,
and that shows everybody, and this is such a great culmination of what we've done here on Fired Up on in After Dark. And sometimes I do videos and we laugh at the hypocrisy of the left, but this is we are in campaign concept, getting ready for reorganization. It's officially started kind of after Christmas, but it's basically started now. And I have had so much outreach from Getter and CloutHub and even Twitter at this point, where people wanting to get involved in this. And so you just should explain the entire nefarious actions that happened with them trying to cheat you out of, and Presley Stutz out of being in the leadership of the the Greenville County GOP. But then Drew McKissick actually put out a statement of what really happened. So Getter, I need you all to pay attention here right now, because what we're going to do is I'm going to put up Drew McKissick's, we call him the petulant child here on this show, the petulant child, Drew McKissick. We're going to put up his little soliloquy here as to exactly what happened and why Jeff Davis, the man with the green screen behind him right now, is currently I'm going to say us, because in America, you're fighting for everybody. And I know that. And in Greenville, they put why you are currently the chairman, because you are ahead of them in every way. And this is how pathetic this, I don't think he owns anything but khakis and a blue jacket, frankly. And I'll be nice. I'll keep it Christian, because I see my wife on the chat. So I'm trying not to get in trouble. This is what he had to say. Now tell me why I call him the petulant child. Uh-oh. Shell just got here. Hot tamales on the chat. Shit's about to get weird. These are all influencers that are watching right now. So we are going to go, and this is Drew McKissick's answer to what Mr. Jeff Davis, the chairman of the Greenville County GOP, just said on the nefarious actions on how they tried to take their vote away from him, and they caught him. This is the way Drew explains it away right here. Everybody pay attention, because Drew's important. No doubt by now you've heard of what happened yesterday in Greenville, but what I wanted you to hear it directly from me. That's Drew, by the way. All of the officers of the Greenville County Republican Party resigned. This was due to the absolutely unworkable environment created by the mySCGOP group. For those of you that are keeping score, the guy right there with the green right there behind him, that is the founder of mySCGOP. This group is led by people who have no personal morality or decency and have harangued, berated, and intimidated everyone who disagrees with them until they just want to quit and be left alone for fear for themselves or their jobs. In short, the goal of this group is to either to gain control of the party themselves or destroy it in the process. We will not tolerate it, period. The important thing is we do what we do from here. The state party is working with concerned Republicans in Greenville to create, wait for it, new auxiliary organizations that will help build, promote, to focus on being a positive, productive force in our party in the area. Greenville is far too important an area for our statewide ticket for us not to help them take on such a project. We will put the full force of the state party behind these promotional efforts. The important thing is what we do from here. The state party is working with concerned Republicans in Greenville to create new auxiliary organizations, which I just read all that shit. Sorry, I need that last one. I did that last night too, or a Monday night. All Republican elected officials. Now, this is the best part, guys. This is the power of the SCGOP and the GOP throughout the country. All Republican elected officials are being notified that this is being done. And such new entity will be the conduit for, and in all caps, all SCGOP efforts in that area until further notice. This guy. Hey, can you hear me? Wait, I got a better one for you, just to make everybody laugh, okay? Wait.
Hey, can you hear me?
Did you hear? I heard Jeff laugh, so he liked it. He's such a clown.
You're good, Chad. You're good.
I am. Merry Christmas behind me, you know? Anyway, so that is, you just gave all of the nefarious that happened. They bought votes. They had donors offer $75, some $100 to do things. They had people harvesting votes. They had money's missing. I mean, you explained it all. And their own investigative team from the establishment folks that picked their investigative team, it was so bad that they couldn't fluff it under the carpet, and they had to come out and force them to resign. But the petulant child, this feller,
hey everybody,
that guy, he went out there and stuck it to everybody in Greenville. Stuck it to everybody. And then when you guys had to take your rightful place and he had nothing to do, because this matters in the HCGOP, because they're trying to get rid of Roger right now and they're not recognizing him. They basically said, well, crap, we're screwed. So the evil one, Jeff Davis, and mySCGOP is taking over Greenville, and we are going to set up auxiliary groups, which we had Shannon Grady. You shared it out there. Shannon Grady said that the Women's Republican Club of Horry County, the largest in the state, was actually supported and picked as that auxiliary group to the HCGOP here that I am a proud member of and support with Roger Slagle. So we are drawing a phenomenal picture here. And I've had people all over the country say this isn't special to us. I had Teddy Daniels, who ran for lieutenant governor of Pennsylvania, said, Chad, this is the playbook. This is exactly what they're doing. Okay. So now you're the GOP chairman. Let me ask you something. If the all-knowing, all-powerful
me,
if he's so powerful and can do whatever he wants to do in these GOPs, because we are not we're not a standalone GOPs, then why has he still got you in this game? Why have you not been removed?
Number one, I wasn't surprised about the types of things Drew and the SCGOP leadership was willing to do. I'm a lawyer, so I'm kind of a risk averse guy in the sense that I like to plan. I mean, we're very aggressive about what we do, but I know I'm a rule follower. Republicans are supposed to be rule followers. I'm a lawyer. I'm going to follow the rules. I'm a CPA, so I'm anal about numbers and all that type of stuff. So, I mean, we haven't made the mistakes that I think Drew was hoping we would make. And we've just been very careful about it. I send letters about everything we do, especially after they made that rule change after July 30th. And I think I've sent you a few of them, Chad.
Yeah, you CC me in a couple.
I mean, it's crazy, but I mean, it's an absolute waste of time. But I do know, and I'm actually preparing, everything that I do is not necessarily to motivate or change Drew's mind. I don't think Drew is ever going to come to the table. I've never had a conversation with him. So, I mean, he's never going to come to the table. But I'm writing this, putting these documents out there, putting the information out there to really win in the court of public opinion, or if we ever have to, in front of a jury. So I put the information out there. If they want to vote us out for rules violations, they should probably tell us what rules we might be violating. So
No, they went to Oconee and just removed people because they shared videos. Drew has a cool video. Have you seen this video? Because I'll show it every time.
Drew,
you can't have a conversation without a telephone.
I can.
Can you have a conversation without a telephone? No, you can't.
Public.
Okay, you're not being very mature. Thank you very
voters.
much. I told you to go back and read the bill. Call me, and I'll talk to you on the phone. Would you like
What
that?
is your position on the
Call me on the
SMS
phone.
machines? No, your
Thank you very
position
much.
as head of. Oh my gosh, Republicans count on you. Like conservatives are counting on you to make sure we have a free and fair election.
Ma'am, I've already talked to you about the machines. I've talked to you about the
No,
bill.
you
Go
haven't.
back and
You
read
just
the
said
bill.
read
The
the bill.
bill
What
tells
is
you
your
everything about the
position,
bill.
not the bill?
My
Your
position is the bill. That's my position.
Your
We got
position.
what we wanted in the bills, what I just told you in the room right there, and you weren't
So you
listening
think
because you wanted
no,
to
you
get your
didn't.
phone out and
No,
talk
you
to
didn't
me.
say
Yeah, I
anything
did.
about machines.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
I told you about the bill. See, all that's in the bill.
All right. Well, God bless you all. I hope it works.
She's so nice. I would have said, kiss my ass, Drew. How about that? Because I'm going to tell you right now, that bill that he's talking about is the voter integrity bill of South Carolina. Not one word of it says anything about ES&S. Am I right?
You're 100% correct. They're all happy about the election integrity bill when the election integrity bill went in the opposite direction of more integrity. So.
Right, but they got that little green light that they got to tell Trump when he came down here and endorse some rhinos for us. I've already gone through that enough, but just so happens that Shannon Grady actually said that Russell Fry, who just became our 7th congressional congressman, was involved in the meetings to some point, and I don't want to quote her right now because I can't remember because there's so much crap she unloaded on us. She'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on Brighteon. That there is a sitting congressman now who is actively with the lieutenant governor, a former FBI agent, the former director of Trump, South Carolina, the founder of Red Hats for Trump until they got those cease and desist. Now it's Red Hats for America. America's keeping America, 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 America. And 2 legislators. And I was going to say prominent attorney, but I'm just going to say attorney. Esquire. You know, you Esquire fellers. So these people all met at the attorney's office to talk about taking over and getting rid of the new leadership that the people voted for in Reed County. But you guys flipped it. My wife and some of her friends being on the data crew. Do you remember we actually chased the other side's executive committeeman, the guy with the Mr. Potato jacket, you know, the gold lame thing? He was actually chased through the city of Myrtle Beach with all the data in a creepy white van. Yeah, that's it. You can't make this shit up, Getter. I mean, a legit, like, it was a straight up OJ situation, running around with the data because they were trying to set and they were trying to steal the election in Horry County. Do you or do you not think that the state of South Carolina, because of the antics of my brother in who they believe is the reincarnate and myself as the Horry County reincarnate, have we made a difference? Because you said we've got new counties that are now riding with us. They're ride or die with the MAGA first. I actually have been written about in the paper saying I free line MAGA juice. Not real sure what that is, but I said, thank you. You proved my point. These are Democrats and we are running shit. So, I mean, I actually might cut that one out and put it in my office someday. But I don't have an office because Elizabeth has one. So you tell me, are we there? Is South Carolina primed and ready to show the world how we do this?
Well, we definitely are on the reorg position. And what we've done is we mapped out a battle plan. We've taken the state, it's 46 counties. We've broken it down into 10 regions. We have regional leaders in each of those regions. We have people in every county. We're signing up more people than you could shake a stick at mySCGOP.com/register. Register for precinct reorg. If you want to purge out the rhino establishment, this is how you do it. And it's the same process in all other states. And I think they're doing it right now down in Florida. And there's been some huge victories. Dan Schultz with the precinctstrategy.com. He actually texted me on Sunday saying, hey, look at this win they did in Lee County down in Florida, the Fort Myers area. But we are ready. We're primed. We are so far ahead. When we didn't roll this out until January 29th. Nobody knew about mySCGOP. Nobody really even knew about ReOrg. We were trying to convince people that it even existed. Now we've got people that have been primed for 2 years that have seen all this nefarious activity of Drew McKissick. I mean, in the uniparty establishment leadership, the elites, and they are been biting at the bit to get involved in reorg. We've had people door knocking in precincts, for a year and a half. They've just been getting ready, and that's how you do it. And what we are doing, we're working with some digital outreach folks. We want to advertise, and our goal is to touch 100,000 South Carolina patriots and introduce them to reorg, get them to come out. It is an overwhelming number. The numbers here of people that turned out for reorg 4 years ago, when I first learned about it, there was 323 people that came out to the Greenville County Convention. Last year, we had 1,899. Our goal for this year is 7,550. We have 151 precincts. We want to turn 50 people out in every one of those precincts. And touching, you're talking, it used to be maybe 3,000 would come out to reorg 4 years ago. And if we get anywhere near 100,000, if we get near 50,000, it's going to just blow them away. So people are excited. And I think it's going to be a real fun ride between now and May.
Well, I've added to your mission because I called him today and I said, we've been talking about it on all of our shows and Getter and Brighteon. And I said, you have a lot of those resources, and I'm going to play a video here so I tried to explain reorganization, and you know me, I make it real simple, but this is a phenomenal 4-minute video. I'm going to play it here in a minute for all of you and everybody on Getter, Cloud Hub, everywhere. Grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, and just follow this 4-minute video, because it's actually this simple. It really is. And this is the special sauce.
And Chad, let me just qualify. This is the video that started it all. This cost us, we bought the software. We paid $97 for it, and we put some time in. And this is what has freaked them out.
I mean, literally freaked them out. And we're going to do this. And I'm proud to do a program. I'm actually ahead on my program, so this is pretty dope. I have Cody Cagg and possibly Miss Bianca from Latinos for Trump. They're going to be on Monday talking about South Texas. I've been talking to Cody about it. She actually told me that their chairman makes you sign a decree that you will support her before you go into precinct reorg. This shit, I told Cody, I said, fly me out to South Carolina or South Texas, and I want this woman to hand me that piece of paper, because I will make her cry. Because she is obviously taking advantage. That's why Jeff and Olga and everybody at mySCGOP, they're all about educating, along with Dan Schultz. And we've got to give big shout out to War Room and Uncle Steve Bannon, man. He's just gone out there and he has explained reorg and how important it is. And we need to recognize that, because this is it. We have to do this now, because what you all don't realize is all the reorgs are going to be done by April. So we don't have much time. So that being said, this is mySCGOP's first piece they put out that is by and large the easiest way to explain reorg. I hope you're ready, Getter. Enjoy.
Sadly, November 3rd, whether we like it or not, gave us 4 years of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. But now is not the time for despair. The battle has just begun. At the state and national level, we have to fight for and return to traditional values, to put America first and support the MAGA agenda. More than ever, South Carolina conservatives need to rally, organize, and take positive action. The time has come to take our country back from the radical left, to purge the establishment elite, and to drain the swamp in our own South Carolina Republican Party. Many of you may or may not know that the leadership of the South Carolina Republican Party is chosen every 2 years. It is that time again for reorganization, where South Carolina Republicans elect a chairman, party officers, and delegates. To make your voice heard and join a movement to rally with other South Carolina patriots and conservatives, here is how the reorganization process works. There are 4 levels of party organization: precinct, county, state, and national. By law, here in South Carolina, the precincts meet in March of every other year. The county conventions are in April and the state convention is in May. Every South Carolina Republican Party position is up for grabs, and this is your chance to take our party back. To show you how the process works, let's use my home precinct here in Greenville County as an example. In March, every precinct will hold a ReOrg meeting. We have 151 precincts in Greenville County. At that precinct ReOrg meeting, there are 3 critically important positions that are chosen. First, a precinct executive committeeman, often called the precinct EC, is chosen. The EC will represent the precinct, serve on our county Republican Party committee, attend formal county party meetings, typically every 2 months, and most importantly, vote on various resolutions and platform positions for the county party. The second county position is a precinct president. The president will fill in and vote in place of the precinct EC at county meetings when the EC cannot attend. And the critically important third position chosen are the county delegates to your county Republican convention held in April. These delegates will elect your county party leadership, and generally, everyone that shows up at the precinct ReOrg in March can be a county delegate for your county convention in April. At a bare minimum, every MAGA agenda supporter should show up at the precinct ReOrg, help select MAGA leaders, and sign up to be a delegate for the county convention. My home precinct has 33 delegates we could send to the county convention, but the last precinct ReOrg we had in 2019 only had 5 people show up, and thus they were all chosen as delegates. You've probably heard the old saying, decisions are made by those who show up. Now is your opportunity to show up and make a real difference. The critically important delegates from your precinct who are chosen at the March precinct ReOrg meeting then go on to your county Republican convention in April. There, delegates will elect a county Republican chairman, a county executive committeeman who will serve on the state committee, and other officers for the county party. But just as importantly, you will also elect delegates to the state convention. Only people who are elected as county delegates from their precinct are eligible to be elected as state delegates, and there is a limited number per county based on population. My home county of Greenville has 79 delegates and 79 alternates to send to the state convention in May. Anderson, for example, has 33 each, and Lexington has 46 each. Again, the number of delegates per county is based on population. At that state convention in Columbia, those party delegates will choose an all-important state party chairman to lead the party for the next 2 years. If that state party chairman is Rhino Establishment, the South Carolina Republican Party will be the same, so electing the right chairman is critical. To put it into perspective, there are only slots for 870 delegates and 870 alternates to the state convention. That is a small number of people making a big decision, and you can be a part of it if you just show up. Also, because South Carolina is an early primary state, Republican presidential candidates will begin laying the groundwork for their upcoming runs in 2024, and they look to party leadership and conservative activists like you to get involved in the primary election process. Given 4 years of Biden ahead of us, that makes the 2021 South Carolina precinct ReOrg process more important than ever. Sign up today with mySCGOP.com for more information. We think this is the best opportunity to start making a real conservative impact on the South Carolina Republican Party. We'll be sharing more information with you on how to get involved. That is mySCGOP.com. Sign up today.
Sleep.
How about that? So, ladies and gentlemen, that is, in a nutshell, a 4-minute. If it's 4 minutes to explain, it's that simple. And you're looking at, I mean, I'm not that guy, right? Then I walked in that piece and I said, I'm going to be EC. How about that? And I brought 6 of my friends. And that's the way I explain it, is it's basically like a high school fight. You bring yours, we're going to bring ours, and we're going to bring more of them, and we're going to vote, and you can go and sit over there in your establishment and do your happy hour Republican club, because we do work. And I don't know if you heard, but my HCGOP just delivered almost 3 tons of food to the needy around Erie County, South Carolina. And I couldn't have been prouder of it. My truck's hurting right now because it squatted the piss out of that thing, but Alpha One can take it. So, Jeff, we just put up mySCGOP, and we're going to continue to do it. And can these people that are on Getter around the country, can they go to mySCGOP, and will mySCGOP help them with resources?
That's what we're here for. We're an educational nonprofit. We're actually a 501c3. I'm a tax attorney. We set it up. It drives the other side crazy. So if you really want to have a lot of fun, and just so you know, I mean, this is a fight. We are fighting for our country. We are fighting to expose corruption. We are fighting, to kind of, empower the people, from the grassroots, the precinct level up. But what we try to preach is we want 1/3 education, 1/3 implementation, and 1/3 fun. So we do try to have a good time with what we're doing. You can't just be pouting all the time and screaming. So we're actually having a good time, and especially here in the holiday season. So we got a lot of socials and a lot of that type of stuff going on.
Just for the record, HCGOP and us here in Horry County, we don't pout shit. We kick them in the balls. You guys can pout all you want up there. Greenville is like this little metropolis, man. They got like Louis Vuitton and all that up there. In Myrtle Beach, you can buy anything you want in the store for $5.
I bought some of those shirts and they fell apart after 2 washes. So I know what you're talking about.
Man, you got 2 washes out of it. That's good, because usually they sit in the sun and die. But ladies and gentlemen, Jeff is a patriot. Miss Olga, his wife, is just like Elizabeth. She's involved in every aspect of this fight. And on a serious note, and I'm going to post that video on Getter for everybody to go back and reference once again. And you all know Navy stands for Never Again Volunteer Yourself. So I'm not big on jumping on other teams here, but I didn't know anybody out there that has the resources that Jeff and Olga and the guys and the folks at mySCGOP. And I have gone and I have spoke at your Greenville County GOP. You guys were my first sponsor for the Gates of Hell rally that we did. We actually forced the entire legislature to come back for a week. That's still in my Christmas stocking. I mean, I remember that, and that was a good thing. We went out there, we kicked them where they didn't know. We had a couple videos on Gary Simmerl and the rest of them, but they had to come back and they had to put a mandate together, and it was a crappy one. But damn it, if we the people didn't talk, right, Jeff?
That's right. They tried to check the box by making people seem like that they did something, but they didn't do anything. And you mentioned Gary Simmerl. Gary Simmerl didn't even run for re-election this session. So
I've said this on this show before, man. 30 incumbents did not run because of these 2 people right here, and all of the patriots that go and get involved with the work that we do in trying to get out front. Like I said, Jeff doesn't do a whole lot of videos and all that, and he's not out front like me, just lighting shit on fire and walking past it. Jeff's more of behind the scenes, and he's the numbers guy. And he does the analytics. But I'm proud to call him a friend. And here's the thing: we don't always agree. That's happened. We don't always agree, but we've I can't remember it, but I remember there was one day I was mad at you. I'll have to ask Olga. I can't remember. I don't remember what you did, but whatever. I'm kidding.
I don't remember. So
see how badass it was? And when I'm mad, I usually, it for a while. That's there. So you showed us the corruption. You showed us how to fix it. You have the resources that is going out, and I applaud you by taking on this national game with me, because we're going to bring you back. We're going to try to get you on Freedom First. We're going to do a seminar and have some others come on the show around the country. Cody Cagg hopefully will do it with us, and Miss Bianca, and we'll get some other people. I think Derek down in Florida and Michelle down in Florida want to get involved. Michelle here on Getter, she's kind of like our den mother, but she is no joke, and she knows everybody. So Michelle wants to get involved. We're all going to bring this coalition together. And Jeff, just what if, after what we saw in Arizona, Kerry Lake and all them saying we're done with them, the GOP did nothing for us. What if in 3 months we change the entire landscape of the GOP?
That's the goal, Chad, and that's what we are going to do. There's not much if to it. We outnumber these people substantially. The only way they're going to maintain their power in ReOrg 2023 will be to cheat, and they will have to cheat substantially, and they're willing to cheat substantially, as we showed up here in Greenville. But that's why we're having to educate people. The process itself, you could do it in 4 minutes. It's actually pretty easy if you didn't have to help people understand that other Republicans will literally cheat to maintain their power because they want to go to the Christmas party at the governor's mansion. And all we're trying to do is save America and help K through 12 children with special needs and whatever your particular cause might be. But that's what really unites us, the ability, because this process will solve all of our problems. It will solve whatever your issue is, my issue. It solves election integrity, because the real problem, the crux of the issue, is our legislators only care about getting elected or reelected. That's all they're worried about. And when we get patriots elected, they get down at the state house and then they go soft because all they care about is getting reelected. And they end up going and following.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that becoming a politician and elected is like erectile dysfunction? This is an after dark show, sir.
Well,
look at Jeff. I made Jeff blush. I bet Olga is snorting back there laughing right now. Maybe not. I don't know. She's might be
laughing on the other side there. But no, honestly, that's all they really care about. I mean, we are looking for patriots that are reluctant legislators. I mean, and Chad, I don't know how much time we got left, but I'll just give you a quick intro. We have a longer term plan here, and it's always developing and giving people hope. But obviously, we want to win the bully pulpit of all 46 counties and the state GOP, because that's really all the GOP does. It provides cover to these legislators and fools the drive-by voters that really are the low information voters, as we would reference them. Well, but we're right now, and I just got 2 people that came back from a campaign leadership school up in DC, 9 days. I mean, intensive stuff, 18-hour days, learning how to run campaigns. We've run several campaigns, through the Greenville County Republican Party with different folks and trying to flip seats and get involved in school boards, and we've been very successful at it so far. But there is a process to this. There's a art and a science, and we are going to document it. And our hope is, and we say this publicly because I want them to know we are coming. We're coming with 100,000 patriots in precinct reorg, and we're coming with 200 to 300 MAGA America First candidates in June 2024 primaries. All 124 House seats will be available, and all 46 Senate seats are going to be available in the South Carolina legislature, plus a whole host of school boards and county councils and all that.
I gotta shut you down, dude. I gotta close this thing up. This is live television, and Rowdy's on here, and I gotta play. I got a new song for him that we close out to. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna keep you up here because you deserve it. You're a patriot and a friend, and I love standing in this foxhole with you, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight we didn't bitch, we didn't mind. What'd you say? Y'all whine up there in Greenville County? Well, we didn't do none of that. Tonight we gave you the tools to go out and make America great again. It can't be done by one man. It can't be done by a wad of money. It needs to be done by each and every one of you sitting at home right now having a TV dinner going, damn, Chad's hair looks good. And this is for you, Mr. Rowdy, because I know how you love to close out with some patriotism. Sir, Mr. mySCGOP. Y'all need to go to mySCGOP and follow Jeff Davis. You guys will see him back on here. We're going to do more training. This is for all of you up there in Greenville in the second most powerful Republican Party in South Carolina. Show up, stand up, speak up. It's your republic. Fight for it.
Hi folks, Jeff Davis here with mySCGOP.com. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click that notification bell for more videos and educational tools as we work hard to drain the rhino establishment swamp in Columbia.